Thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Center YouTube channel, where on this channel we believe in giving you unbiased advice to help you maximize your retirement income. Now, on our channel, we do not believe in giving you some silver bullet strategies, and we certainly do not believe in glorifying any type of one product. But what we do believe in are holistic concepts that will help you retire with confidence. As you know, inflation is at a 40-year high. And as we also know, much like death and taxes, inflation will also always be with us. The question is, Andrea, is what can you do about it? But we are going to help you understand some things that you can do to take control of inflation by beating inflation the old-fashioned way. So stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Concepts videos. These videos are created to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Absolutely, Andrew, because with so many retirement concepts out there and so many retirement strategies and of course so many retirement products, it can become very difficult for consumers to digest it all. That is why we're so fortunate to work with a team of expert advisors to help us build a financial roadmap that will let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Carson, I was being nosy about this topic that you were going to talk about, inflation. And so I picked up one of your articles where you circled something that well-known economist Milton Friedman had a quote about inflation. It was, "Inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon in the sense that it is and can be produced only by a more rapid increase in the quantity of money than in output." Please explain that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a mouthful, right? And I see you took the cheese. I'm glad about that. But here's the thing, Andrew. What Milton Friedman was trying to convey to us is that, of course, the Federal Reserve controls the monetary policies of our dollars. And of course, when we print more money, when the Federal Reserve says we need to print more money to either boost the economy, no doubt, inevitably, is going to end up causing an inflationary environment. It can even turn a deflationary environment into an inflationary environment. So we know that, we're going to continue to print money. We haven't seen any stoppage in that. So the question is, since inflation will be with us always, how can we beat it? That is what we're going to try to help you with today. So you're going to want to stay locked in here. But before we get into that, there are always 2 rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And Andrew, what are those 2 rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money. And rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how you can beat inflation the old-fashioned way.
Okay, Carson, now let's be honest. As much as we like to think that we have the freedom of choice of our own lives, the government really controls a lot of that, don't you think?
Well, Andrew, you know what? You're really raising some pretty provocative questions today. Maybe it's the mic, I don't know. But seriously, I mean, honestly, what you say is very, very true. We don't have as much control over the things that we consume in our day-to-day lives. That is why, we've actually implemented antitrust laws to, of course, prevent monopolies and, of course, promote better competition. But to be honest with you, Andrew, there's usually about 3 to 4 companies that control the products that we consume on a daily basis. So, Andrew, just to give you an example, when you think about the prices that we pay at the pump, right? OPEC really controls the prices that we pay. They control. It's basically a monopoly there. Even though we have resources of our own, OPEC is going to determine the prices that we usually pay at the pump, unfortunately. Another example, Andrew, when you think about the meat that we consume every day, 4 companies control 55 to 85% of that marketplace. So as you can see from just those 2 examples, Andrew, I can give you many, many more from the car industry and so forth. As you can see, you really don't have a lot of choices to pick from if we find ourselves in a highly inflationary environment. We saw that with used cars, right? I mean, used cars went up more than 40%. I mean, how can anyone justify those prices compared to their income, because I guarantee your income did not go up 40%. So we have to figure out a way to circumvent this. The first thing that I would tell a consumer is that understand that you have the most power. You have the biggest say in this. We make up 75% of GDP. So it is our consumption that drives the market. And when we actually get fed up, it will make a difference. I point this out, Andrew, because I printed out this article from the Wall Street Journal. This article here is very interesting, and I think you should go and take a look at it. But it says shoppers reach their limits on some price increases. These are things from like t-shirts and sofas and so forth, where shoppers actually said, we got fed up, we're not going to pay the increase, we're not going to do it. And guess what happened, Andrea? Those retailers had to lower their prices. They lost the battle. So these shoppers and other shoppers like them actually figured out, hey, we can make a difference in what is going on here. You can decide not to participate. You see prices going up 30, 40, 50%. Make a better decision about when or if you're going to even decide to buy that particular item. That is how I actually do it, Andrea.
Carson, if we all know that we're being forced into certain buying options, how would you suggest we as consumers deal with it?
And just like I mentioned before, try to mimic what I do. As you know, and I've said this before, my family refers to me as a cheapskate, right? And that's okay, But unlike my grandparents before me, who could actually grow their own food or maybe sew their own clothes, I'm more of a 21st century cheapskate. I know that I can't, circumvent everything, Andrew, but we can choose our own battles, right? I can choose to carpool if gasoline is too high. I can also go to my employer. If I'm working for someone, if I'm not self-employed, I can go to my employer and say, hey, things are just too high right now. I need a pay increase. Or perhaps will you allow me to work from home? That's a good idea. Employees in this day and time, they actually have a lot of leverage. So you may want to think about going to your employer and saying, hey, with inflation at this level, I need some extra help. That may be one thing to do. Instead of driving to certain places, if it's close enough, maybe you decide to walk. That's a double-edged benefit, right? You get a chance to save money on gas, and you also get your exercise in for the day as well. That expensive vacation, decide to stay local. Do a staycation instead. That will obviously allow you to control the price increases. And maybe you have a pair of shoes and you're looking to buy a new pair. Well, if those pair of shoes that you have, Andrew, if they're functional, how about you just keeping them until the next season? I mean, I know everybody can't, operate like I do, because I really am a cheapskate. I don't like shopping at all. But this is a way for you to actually speak to the marketplace and say, hey, you know what? I know I can't control my buying options, but I can control when or if I decide to buy.
So Carson, what can you tell people that are less old-fashioned than you on how to fight inflation?
Well, I got good news for those people too, Andrew. I understand, even from my own family, everybody's not going to operate in the cheapskate dimension. I get that. But here's some things you can do. If you're not, going to be, old-fashioned like me, well, these are things that you can do also to control your money. So let's say, for instance, if you're going to be eligible for Social Security, Andrew, how about thinking about delaying those benefits? First of all, not taking it at 62, where you're going to have a 30% haircut on your income. Even not waiting at your full retirement age, but delaying your Social Security benefits past your full retirement age, where you can receive those 8% delayed retirement credits along with the cost of living increases. If you were to have done that this year, where Social Security had an inflation increase of 5.9%, you would have seen a 14% jump in your money in 1 year. So that's one thing you can do. Control your money flow. Understand that waiting can be a huge benefit for you. Another thing that I will always tell anyone is that you should invest in inflationary portfolios. Now, on this channel, we do not give you investment advice. That is not what we try to do, because we don't know you. I mean, we have to know your individual situation before we ever do that. So don't take this as investment advice for sure. But I will say that if you're looking at investing dollars into an inflationary portfolio, Andrew, you will win. Here's an interesting statistic that I want to share with you. From 2009 to 2021, Andrew, the S&P 500 had an increase of over 600%. think about this, from 2009, when the market was coming off of its worst debacle since the Great Depression, the S&P 500 had an increase of 600%. Over that same time period, inflation only increased by 34%. So which side of the equation do you think you want to be on if you're trying to at least keep up or even, of course, outpace inflation? Another thing you want to think about are putting money into things that hold its value, like precious metals, or maybe even real estate, of course, what definitely can hold their value during inflationary times. So these are just some nuggets that I'm giving you that I implement into my own lifestyle to help me combat inflation, because I know that I cannot control the price increases when I have limited choices, but I can control how I decide to participate when those increases are happening at an exorbitant rate like we're seeing now here in 2022. So I hope this helped.
Carson, thank you again for your insight on this topic, and thank you for watching. And if you felt this information was beneficial for you, please like and share with others.
So I really hope that this educational video provided you with some valuable insight on how you might go about beating high inflation. Please understand that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. If you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in the description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with our office today.
For more information about this topic or any of the other topics we've shared in our other videos, please feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions or comments in the section below. After this video, please check out our other videos that we've created that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.